Welcome, everybody, to Clear the Ice. I'm your host, Mike Lauro, along with the one and only Matty B. Matty, what's going on, man?
I don't know. Mike, you tell me, because
that was rough. 9 goals to the Canadiens. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know what to say, Mike. I'm up for a loss for words. I can say your goalie, no matter who you're going to put in there, is cooked. This team is cooked.
Yeah, they're done. Whatever message.
Yeah, the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, listen, they gave us meaningful hockey in a rebuild year up until April 9th, or I should say 8 games before this. It doesn't matter who you put in there. It doesn't matter. The big, Ivan the Terrible or Eriksson. Eriksson looks like he can't stop a long shot.
Erson's done. Erson's in his head. Erson should not step back on the ice the rest of the season, regardless of how long it might. If they find their way into the playoffs, that's great. Erson does not need to be back in goal at all until next year. He needs to go somewhere and get his head right. He's not seeing anything.
No, he's not. And this defense, again, with them letting guys get in behind them, this has been a problem all year. Like, I don't understand this. If me and you could see it, and you are probably a lot better with hockey, with me considering you ref hockey, I'm watching this, and tonight that's all they did. It was either they took a long shot out or they were coming in getting these tip-ins. And they made that Montreal team look like they were getting ready to go into the playoffs.
Yeah.
This reminded me of a game like a couple of years ago where you knew, like, once the snowball started rolling, it just kept rolling.
And there was nothing going to stop it because it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You mentioned the lack of defense for the past. I wouldn't say for the entire 8-game winless streak that I've seen them play like this, but over definitely the last 3 or 4 games, the defense has looked uninterested about being on the ice. The offense has looked uninterested in being on the ice. They're just moving slow. They're chasing pucks. They're not forcing anything, and the neutral zone are not forcing anything within their own zone. They're not forcing anything in the other team's zone. But yet, even tonight, Mike, with 9 goals given up by the Flyers, they still outshot the Canadiens. How in the hell do you outshoot a team and lose 9-3?
Because of their shot selection. If you look at all their shot selections, all their shots are from out wide.
Yeah.
Every last one of them is out wide or up at the top in the beginning of the zone. They don't get no shots inside the box. They really don't. Like, and it bugs me. It kills me with the Flyers because, yeah, they got some snipers, but they have nobody taking control of that box. Wayne Simmons isn't going. Wayne Simmons is not coming back and helping you out. This, to me, everything's been outside, and it just looks like, that's how teams are playing them now. I just can't believe they lost 9-3 to Montreal.
Yeah.
Like, this Montreal, I mean, if you take a look over these last few games, they've gotten doubled up by Buffalo. They've gotten tripled up by Columbus. Tonight they get tripled up against them. I mean, come on. To me, I feel like they lost their mojo once they got done that, what we call the gauntlet part of their season here. Towards the end of that gauntlet, they really haven't been the same. And
yeah, no, they haven't, Mike. And they got 4 games left to go. And honestly, and this is, I think, from the bottom of my heart, I'm not being facetious or kind of a wise guy by this, but if this is what the effort's going to be for the next 4 games, don't even bother. Just tell the NHL. Tell the NHL we're not showing up. Just put them down as losses.
Yeah,
because this is not. Losing is fine. Winning is losing and winning is part of the game. But you're going out there and you're embarrassing yourselves. You're not playing for something. You're not playing for each other. I don't know what's going on. You mentioned are they done listening to Tortorella? I don't necessarily think that's the case. It might be. I don't know. But something's not right now. They're either so damn tired that they can't even get up on their feet. They're not listening to him. They're shut down for the season. They're banged up. There's something going on in that clubhouse or in that locker room that I would love to know, because you don't fall off the rails like this. You just don't.
It's funny. Before we came on here, I was actually trying to get some scoring checking up on between with the Islanders and the Caps, and I go on Twitter, and the first thing is there's a meme and it says, "Oh man, we can't collapse like this," and it was the Eagles. It goes, "Man, you guys," and it says the Flyers are like, "Here, hold my beer."
Yeah.
So it's really hard, man. It is because this team did show a lot of improvement over the season, and we kept saying, "Man, this team." And the thing about it is, when they play against these top tier teams, they give them a dogfight. But we haven't seen no fight in these guys. Really, the last fight that I seen them with, all honesty, was against the Rangers. When they played the Rangers up at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers did win in overtime in that game, 1-6-5. But even the game they had here just about a week ago against the Islanders, where they got a point out of it, like to me, there was no urgency. So, I mean, it's to me, I got to agree with you. And I was on the Solid Squad yesterday. Not on there, but I commented on their show, and I was telling them, "Oh man, relax. I think the Flyers got this." After seeing this tonight, no man, I can't sign off on them making the playoffs.
No, and they shouldn't make the playoffs. This is not a team that deserves to be in the playoffs. Give it to a team like the Penguins or the Islanders or the Capitals that's pushing, that's making a late season move to try to prove themselves to be in the playoffs. The Flyers spent 124 days in a playoff spot throughout this season, and they've fallen completely out of it over the last 2 weeks. They don't deserve to be there, and that's just really the bottom line. And I know everyone, and I've been the champion of this. I would have taken this back in July if you would have told me. I would have said, "Yeah, I'll sign up for that kind of ride because that means the Flyers were relevant." It doesn't mean it still hurts. It still hurts to see what we had a very promising, granted, not a Stanley Cup season. We weren't going to win a cup, but we were going to get back to the playoffs. We're going to make some noise. We were going to return to that. Bring playoff hockey back to South Philadelphia, and it hasn't been here for a long time. So I was looking forward to that, at least for the first round. But now they don't deserve it, and they shouldn't go.
No, and I agree with you. After this performance tonight, like you said, there's something wrong there. So let's get into it. We're going to break down the first period. Really, only one goal in the period, which was by Slavkovsky. He would go on to have a big night, the young 20-year-old for the Canadiens. He would light the lamp at 1:05 of the first period. Talk about they jumped on the Flyers quick. Again, we talked about this just a few seconds ago with Sam Ersson not really stopping any of the long shots over this last, this last rut that they've been in over these last 8 games. He's been letting up some goals that have been really, really out there. Now, on this one, he was screamed. Matter of fact, the initial goal, they gave it to Madison, but they end up switching it over because on replay you can see that Slavkovsky tipped it in. So that's how we would end the first period. You figure, okay, you're down 1-0. Then the floodgates opened come the second period. And what I mean by floodgates, I mean this was just a barrage by the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Again, it was that Slavkovsky guy at 8:43 of the second period, notching his 18th goal, put him up 2-0. We would go about a minute, almost 2 minutes later, there would be Gallagher lighting the lamp for them, giving them a 3-0 lead. And then Slavkovsky again right here. He gets the hat trick at 11:22 of the second period, puts Montreal 4-0. And to be honest with you, Matty, when they hit 4-0, did you really sit there? I'm like, I got to watch the rest of this game, but do I really want to?
So I said when they got to 4-0, I thought a couple things were going to happen. I honestly thought he was going to yank him. Then I thought that Ersson was going to give him the hook. He wasn't, and I was really surprised by that. And the other thing I thought was, you're right. I got to come on and do a post game, and it's the second period, and they're down 4-0, and we got a lot of hockey left, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. So yeah, it was a lot of things going through my mind too, Mike.
Yeah, it was. I was sitting here going, "Oh, this is going to be a hard one to talk about," but we have to talk about it. Literally a minute later, Anderson would score, making it 5-0. That would be the end of Sam Ersson for the night. He would be pulled.
Yeah. mercifully. And that goal was really kind of the goal that got him out of the game is really just sums up Sam Erson's season. Really does. I mean, how do you not make? Come on, man! It's a breakaway. The guy's falling all over the place. He barely gets a shot on you, and it somehow finds a way underneath your pad. Yeah. I mean, come on, man! What's going on here, dude? I mean,
yeah, they did take a look at that for a brief second, but I didn't think they were going to
contact. Yeah, no,
I didn't think there was enough there to overturn that. So I was like, Then we would end the period with Dvorak scoring at the 15:27 mark, pretty much putting an exclamation point on this game at the end of the second period, putting them up 6-0 heading into the third period. And but I guess with a new period brings new hope, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and they pulled some. I mean, listen, they outshot them in the first period 10-8. They got outshot 14-12 in the second period. So I don't know if they were going in the locker room talking about that, saying, "Hey boys, at least we're going shot to shot with him." I don't know if that was happening. I don't know if they were pulling positives out of there, but there was just nothing working, man. And again, Mike, I love hockey, and I'm upset that the season's coming to an end and everything, but I don't want to watch this. This is not hockey. This is embarrassing. And if you're going to give me this for the next 3 games, I'd just rather you just forfeit. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. Well, let's finish out the third period. Ryan Poehling, one of the unsung heroes of this team for this year, he gets the Flyers on the board at 14:54, putting the puck in the net. Flyers would cut the lead to 6-1. That would probably be about as close as they would get it. Because literally 4 minutes later, Dvorak, who scored earlier, puts it in again, makes it 7-1. Another familiar name you would hear going down the list, Gallagher at 12:20 of the third period, puts them up 8-1. The guy on the milk carton for the Flyers, Joe Farabee, he finds the back of the net, making it an 8-2 game. Ryan Poehling, that would be at 15:05. 17:10 of the third period, Ryan Poehling would score his second goal of the game, cutting the lead to 8-3, and then literally with just over 2 minutes left to go in the game, Armada for the Montreal Canadiens puts one past Ivan the Terrible, and that's how your game would end. So,
yep, mercifully. And I guess what we could do now is we can look at some of the things positively, and I know we're going to do the stars of the game, which, oh, man, I don't know about that one. But I want to ask you this, Mike. This was a problem that we didn't have at the beginning of the season, and we have it now, and that's goaltending. All right? The Flyers have talent here. They got potential. They got players, but they got no NHL-level goaltending currently on this roster right now. So this adds a kind of a wrinkle, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because I'm talking free agency. Are the Flyers, if they want to take the next step next season, regardless of what they do with scores, regardless of how their players that they currently have continue to develop, do the Flyers got to be high-priced buyers and bring a free agent starting goaltender in here to try to get to the playoffs? Or we continue this pace?
I believe you do, but you also got to sit back and wait what's going on too with the Carter Hart situation.
Well, the news broke today that trial is not going to happen until after 2025. So Carter Hart will be an RFA at the end of this summer in July. So the Flyers are going to have to make a decision on him right like in the next 2 or 3 months about his contract. Because if they decide not to offer him a contract because he's restricted, then he becomes a UFA. Now, the league is probably going to have to help the Flyers out. The league's got to sit here and do something because it's not fair to the Flyers to lose a player that they may never get again, and it's not fair to the player to have to, it's not fair. It's not fair to the team. So the league's going to have to figure something out with these guys, what they're going to do with their contracts.
Hopefully, maybe they give the Flyers a couple compensation picks or something.
But I would imagine that the Flyers, because if we're following through the CBA and the collective bargaining agreement between the NHLPA and the league and the union, whatever, or that is the union, but the league, July 1st, Carter Hart has to have a in-hand written offer from the Flyers, a tendered contract, an offer, and by July 15th, he has to accept that offer.
So, do you think maybe they offer him a contract just so they can get a composite, I guess, a draft pick?
But here's the deal: he's an RFA, not a UFA. So he could he can't necessarily say he's not going to sign it. another team can swoop in and say, you know what, I'm going to match that offer, Carter. We're going to sign you. Then the Flyers can go ahead and sign, and the Flyers can go ahead and sign him or match the team's offer, and then he's signed, sealed, and delivered. Or Carter Hart could say, you know what, I'm not signing. But if he doesn't sign then he's Flyers property. If he doesn't sign a contract by 1 December, then he can't play all year long. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But then he becomes a UFA next summer. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. So either way, the Flyers are getting screwed here.
Yeah, they are. And unfortunately, I felt maybe, who knows though, maybe they may trade his rights away or something. Maybe they can do that.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so do you look at bringing in if you want to continue on, or is this just part of the now year 2 of the rebuild, is finding an NHL goaltender from within and developing that player from within? Because that's what the team is telling us for everybody else. Why should it be different for the goalie?
True. I don't really think them getting a goalie is going to make them a cup contender. It'll make them a playoff team, but not a cup contender. Right. So I could see them kind of riding it out with Emerson and Ivan the Terrible, for right now, until he gets it, like, especially, Fedotov. I can see him, really kind of getting his legs on the ring. Because, a lot of people forget, too, Dominik Hasek wasn't great his first years he came over here. He took a little bit to develop. So maybe you might have to let him develop a little bit and then see what you have. I mean, like you said, we do have guys in the pipeline coming down as well. So, he may not even get that chance, and maybe somebody else.
I mean, there's some names that are going to be available. Matt Murray, Samsonov, Dreiger, Marc-Andre Fleury, Kapanen, Talbot, Cam Talbot is going to be available. There's some players out there that the Flyers could sign to a low-risk, high-reward type contract. I agree with you.
I would sign Fleury.
Would you really?
Yes. You want to know why? Because that dude, even now at his age, and he hasn't been in Pittsburgh for a while, but you figure he left Pittsburgh and went to Vegas and got a cup there. So, I would take a shot on him. He would probably be the only one because you're pretty much getting a coach in the room too.
And that's why, and there with the goaltending thing, you're right. The Flyers have 7 very good, talented young goalies in the system. They're not developed. That's the problem. We're going to have to develop them, and there's multiple ways you can do it. But having a veteran goalie in here to help out is definitely the fastest way to do that. And bringing in a veteran like, as you mentioned, Marc-Andre Fleury, that would help things out. That would definitely speed this process along. But it's going to be interesting for me to see what this team does. Are they going to take the same approach they're taking with their players or their forwards and their defensemen? Are they going to develop from within with their goalies? Because this was not something we expected when this thing started. We thought the goaltending situation was actually ahead of everything else. Now it's behind everything else. And that's a pretty significant development for me.
It is. But you know what, Matty? I feel like right now we need to pay some bills. So I'm going to, as soon as this thing lets me do it. This thing's been acting weird all night. Guys, make sure if you want to go see the Flyers play the Devils and the Washington Capitals, that's right, there's only 2 home games left. Make sure you go to sherrystickets.com. Whatever the price is, that's what the price is going to be. There is no hidden fees, and you get a special 10% off using that great promo code EOP10. That's right, guys, EOP10. So make sure you get over to Sherry's Tickets. You can go to www.sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Again, you save an additional 10% by using that great promo code EOP10. Guys, David R. Cherry, if you have any legal issues, make sure you hit him up at www.cherryinjurylaw.com or 610-565-0300 for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law. Tell them that the guys over at Edge of Philly Sports sent you over. And guys, Philly Sports Trips, I was there opening day. Make sure you guys get out there. They're going to Wrigley. That's right. For July 4th, they will be in Wrigley. Get out there, go to phillysportstrips.com. Or if you just want to do a day trip, June 15th, we're right there down to Baltimore. Make sure you guys get down there. And guys, we do have another one. Where's it at? Ooh, there it is. Streetlight Kitchen and Bar. Myself, Matty, Al, and Sal. Along with Pat, we were all there Sunday. Make sure you guys, we will be there again. That's right, pre and post May 11th It's right there. So make sure you guys get on out there to the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar, 5400 Fern Boulevard, Drexel Hill, right connected to the Holiday Inn out there. All right, we paid our bills. Now let's get to these comments, Matt. Or do you want? Oh, wait, no, what? No. Let's do our 3 Flyers of the night. Well, I just got one quick question. When you play that and you and Pat are doing it, does he get up and start dancing around with you too?
Never.
Oh, yeah, he does it with me all the time. Every time he comes back on, he's like, backs to me.
No.
All right. Who do you got for your 3 stars, buddy?
All right, I'm going to go ahead with the low-hanging fruit, the goal scorers for the Flyers. Eric Johnson is my number 3 star with a goal, assist, and 2 points. I mean, I could probably make a case for him to be number 1 star, but I'm going to go with him as my 3rd star. My number 2 star, let's go with, I guess they gave the goal to Paling, quickly becoming one of those fan favorite players for the Flyers. A goal. He had a point and a -1 on the night. And my number 1 star for returning from the unknown, the beyond, the deep, dark woods, Joel Farabee. That's right, Joel Farabee with a goal tonight for the Flyers. Of course, he would return in a blowout. So there you have it, my 3 Flyer stars of the night.
Yeah, this was hard to dig up for me as well. I took Joel Farabee as my 3rd star tonight. I took Owen Tippett. Owen Tippett had 2 assists tonight. I felt like he was there. And, of course, I took everybody, the new Sean Podine, which is Ryan Paling.
Yeah.
I took him as my number 1 star tonight, scoring 2 goals. Doesn't he remind you of
he reminds you of that type of role player, like a Sean Podine, like a Terry Carpenter, that kind of a player. And yeah, absolutely. He's that 3rd, 4th line guy that can give you the offense every now and again, but he's sound fundamentally, he's sound technically. And it's every Stanley Cup champion needs a player like that on their team.
They do. All right, guys, let's get into the comments. Oh, I got the wife checking in. I know she probably turned that game off, so I know she wasn't watching that. Ooga Boogie says because you're bad. I guess because
the Flyers are bad.
Yeah, he says imagine losing 9-3 to Montreal.
Don't have to imagine it happened.
Yeah, we don't have to imagine it did. It says, "Yikes, dog! Isles and Caps 1-2. R.I.P."
Come on, man! Come on us with more than that, man! Come on, right? We got it, all right? We got it.
We're up to date on the comments, but yeah, I mean, come on! Like we just watched the game. We're giving you our reactions to this game. So yeah, we know that they got smoked. We know that they won. So, but I will say this though, with Washington's got a little bit of a murder's row though coming up because they got to play Boston. I think they play Boston Thursday, and then they play Tampa after that before they play the Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is far from over. And unfortunately, well, I should say unfortunately, the Flyers are actually still mathematically still alive, and anything can happen, but I don't see the Flyers winning another game. So I don't
either. Either. If you're looking at this, Matty, just real quick, if we're going over Thursday night, Capitals got to play Sabres. I'm sorry. Red Wings play Penguins. So that's a good one there. And
the Flyers play the Rangers.
Right. And Montreal, who we just got lost to 9-3, they go down and play the Islanders.
Yeah. So as I said, it's not over, but it's over. So let's take a look around the NHL tonight here on the show for our scores. Games that are still kind of going as we speak. The Jets are beating the Predators 3-2. About 10 minutes to go in the game. It is 3-2 Dallas over the Buffalo Sabres with about 17 minutes left. Underway out there, just underway in Colorado. It's 2-1 Avalanche over the Wild. About 8 minutes remaining in the first period. Just really underway in Anaheim. It's 0-0 Kings and Ducks. First period, 1-0 Seattle over the Coyotes. And then a little bit later on, it'll be the Sharks and the Flames. Games that have gone final, Hurricanes over the Bruins 4-1. Yeah, you guys mentioned it already. The Capitals over those playoff-hungry Detroit Red Wings 2-1. So the Capitals made some ground up or added some points today. The Lightning over the Blue Jackets 5-2. The Panthers over the Senators 2-0. Maple Leafs over the Devils 5-2. And then the Islanders also winners tonight 4-2 over the Rangers. And there's your look around the National Hockey League on this Tuesday night. And Mike, before I turn it back over to you, let's take a look at some of the standings. This is the most up-to-date look at your standings. Currently, the Flyers are now literally from the third from the bottom of the Eastern or the Metro Division. They are no longer the third place team, obviously. Let's take a look where they are in the wild card race. They are 2 points behind the Capitals, but they also have the Red Wings and the Penguins in front of them with just 1 point back, as the Islanders now are that solid number 3 team in the it's getting pathetic to even look at anymore. So there you have it. The Flyers' playoff chances are getting worse and worse by the day.
I got you on here too, Matty. We always talk about this in the Eastern Conference because we cover the Flyers. Looking over in that Western Conference, who do you like in that Western Conference?
So it's, to me, I think the Western is I love the Western because it is so it changes like every year. I mean, you have the Stars, you have the Avalanche, they're there, but Vancouver kind of came out of nowhere for me this year. I do like I like Vancouver. I don't like Edmonton because they don't have any goaltending. They have great scoring, but you're going to need goaltending, and Edmonton knows that, and they never address it. I'm going to have to go with some of the, give me Colorado again. Yeah, give me Colorado coming out of that division or out of that conference. I just like what they have. They come at you from 3 different lines, and they have solid goaltending. So give me the Avalanche to win the cup.
Okay.
The cup winner is coming from the West. I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah, I believe that too. But I'm going to go same division, Matty. Different team though. I'm going to go
Dallas
with the Stars. I've been really high on Dallas, and I'll tell you what.
They stay under the radar, man. They don't make much noise. All they do is they go out and win, and they get they're a strong team too.
Yeah, I mean right now it's them in Boston for the President's Trophy.
Yep.
And I mean, hold on. I'm sorry. The Rangers got it. The Rangers got 110. They got 110 points.
Yeah, Dallas 107 is not something to shake a stick at. So that's what Dallas has got. So, but
like I said,
and that means nothing. That whole thing means nothing anyway. But.
Yeah, that's just a fugazi trophy.
Yeah, it is.
How many? Would it be the Rangers type thing to do to win the President's Trophy and they get bounced in the first round?
Yeah, it would be. And I'm telling you, though, I was really looking forward to watching playoff hockey this year. I was really looking forward to sitting down and watching it with a vested interest. And I'm going to have to wait another year.
I do. Every year. I think that is the most I think it's the greatest playoffs out of all 4 major sports because you have 7 games right off the jump, and by the time these teams get to the 3rd game, they already hating each other. Yep. So if it goes to a 7th game, it's like war. I love hockey playoffs. I watch it every year. I kind of grab a team to go with, and because the Flyers haven't been in, so I'll snag a team just to kind of root for quietly.
Yeah, and I'll do the same, but it's nice to have that vested interest, that like emotional attachment to the team, and I thought it was going to happen this year. I thought at least I would get that taste this year, but we don't deserve it. But
it's going to be a hard way to go.
Yeah.
You got any closing thoughts, dude, before we get out of here?
Nah, just remember we're going to stick with you to the end of this thing. So here on Thursday, you got Pat and Al, then me and Pat on Saturday, and then me and Pat on next Tuesday are going to. It looks like that's going to be the final show of the year against the Capitals. So make sure you keep tuning back for all the great fun here on Clear the Ice because we started it, we're going to finish it, and Mike, we got to clear the ice. We got to clear the studio because coming up right after us, you got Pat who's going to take us with the Fightins final as he'll recap Game 2 of the Phillies Cardinals and everything else that's happening here on the network because it is chock full of stuff. Stuff. As you can see here by our schedule. So make sure you're checking out everything on the website, www.eopsports.com or edgeofphillysports.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all those great places. And Mike mentioned it. May 11th, we're back at the Street Light Kitchen and Bar in Fern Avenue, Drexel Hill, PA, for our next pre- and post-game live of the Fightins final. It is a Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. So for those of you who are freaking out because it's mid-May, yeah, we get it, but it's not Mother's Day. It's the day before. So make sure you're checking us out.
I'm doing the game Thursday, I believe, for Al.
So you're switching with Al?
Yeah, I think I got Thursday. No, not for here, for Fightins. For Fightins, yeah.
You got, okay. So you're taking Pat? Or no? Oh, the Pirate series. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yep.
The Pirate series.
Yeah, we haven't made that public yet, Mike.
But
this is make sure.
this is my last Flyers game of the year.
That's right. It is. So, yes.
So, Matty, has been fun with you. Pat, I got to always deal with. And Al has been great, too. So,
but we're going to come back together and do a review show of the season, probably after the Stanley Cup Finals. So, damn, Mike, I didn't realize that this was going to be your last.
Yes, this is my last. I'm off to the finals now. I'm off to the Titans final now. So you'll see me over there. My luck's a little better over there than it's been here.
Yeah, I saw that today. Well, hey, listen, Mike, great job this year. Year 2 of the Clear the Ice. It's going to get bigger and better. So we're moving forward, even though the season didn't end the way we wanted it to. Wow, man, I didn't realize it was your last show for the season. That's messed up.
Yeah, that's all right. You never know. Somebody may pull.
You never know. You never know.
All right, guys. For myself, Mike Lauro, and for the straight shooter, Matty B, thank you so much for joining us. Pat and Al, we'll see you Thursday night for Flyers Rangers. It's got to be better than it was tonight. We'll see you then.